Hey guys, Luke Nestler from the Moto Marketing Podcast. I want to tell you about the promotion that RacerX is running from now until January 6th. Look, if you subscribe to RacerX, renew your subscription, you're going to get access to the 50 years of Pro Motocross Collector's Edition calendar, right? These are limited while supplies last. You get a lot with this offer. I want to tell you a little bit about what you do get. So in addition to the calendar, you're going to get 1 year subscription, or obviously, like I said, the renewal, 2021 limited edition celebrating 50 years of Pro Motocross, a $25 Rocky Mountain e-gift card, a digital subscription to RacerX. For a friend, it's an $80 value. It's $30. Look, this calendar is, man, it's super cool. I'm flipping through. I've already seen photos of Doug Henry. We've got Mark Bomber Barnett. Let's see, what do we got in March? My birthday is in March. So, Jeff Ward, Jeff Stanton battle. Really cool stuff. Limited edition. I've got one for the office. I'm going to hang it up right after this episode, and I encourage you to jump on it as well. Go to racerxonline.com/moto marketing. Subscribe today. Hey, I want to tell you about Moto Brand. Moto Brand was founded during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic when the sport that we live for was taken from so many of us, whether it's cycling or moto, waking up on a Saturday morning knowing that your local track was closed, there would be no Supercross, and for many of us that we couldn't even hit our favorite local riding spot or trail with our crew. We were forced to be reminded of how much the sport of moto and cycling truly means to us. Moto Brand represents a collection of individuals that not only ride, but live to ride. It's what we think of at all times of the day, and sometimes at a detriment to your relationship with your significant other. It's for those that look at their motorcycle or their bicycle as part of their identity. Maybe it's the way that you bond with your son or your daughter or your spouse. Perhaps it's your way to blow off stress of your day job, or even, hey, it is what it is, maybe even it's your marriage. This sport is more than just a sport. For many of us, it's a way of life. It's what keeps us ticking. It's what keeps us living. Moto Brand was created for a purpose, to be more than just a shirt that you can throw on in the morning, but these designs represent who you are and what you stand for. So I encourage you to head over to themotobrand.com, check out our collection. We have a pedal collection and we have a throttle collection, and there are more designs to come that stand for something. So head over to themotobrand.com and we'll see you there.
Welcome to the Moto Marketing Podcast, presented by RacerX, the podcast for moto industry professionals, entrepreneurs, and riders. If you want to grow your brand and business in today's digital-first world, you have to know how to turn a stranger into a fan, turn a like into a customer. You have to know how to turn attention into dollars. This podcast is dedicated to keeping you in the know on real marketing tactics that work in the moto world so that you grow your business and help grow the sport. Get ready to learn from the very same marketing experts trusted by RacerX, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, GNCC, and NBC Sports. They'll help you navigate the world of digital marketing for your moto brand. This is the Moto Marketing Podcast. Presented by RacerX.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Luke Nestler. We got a special guest with us today, one of my good friends, Tom Licciardi. A very different episode than we normally would have, and I personally invited Tom to come on the show today because something that you guys have done in the industry that you work in, every time I see what you guys are doing, I'm like, man, there's a lot that Moto Brand businesses could learn from what you guys are doing. So, Tom, good friend of mine, he was in my wedding. We've known him for years. He's been a client in the past. And Tom, your business is the furthest thing from Moto. You're in the fine jewelry space, correct?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about your store so everybody kind of knows. As I mess with this microphone, it's driving me nuts right
now. We have Jacqueline's Fine Jewelry, 2 locations, Morgantown, West Virginia, and Uniontown, Pennsylvania. We've been in business about 10 years. Fine jewelry, custom jewelry, high-end watches, as this guy knows. We do a little bit of everything in the jewelry business.
And you're an avid skier. You're into action sports. Have you attended the High Point? race?
Yeah. I was a big motocross guy when I was younger. The knees don't work that well anymore, but yeah.
And Davey Coombs, obviously being in Morgantown as well. So why have I brought Tom, who owns a jewelry store, on the Moto Marketing Podcast? Well, Tom, your business, as we were talking before we went on air, is like the prime example of a business that should have just been completely smashed and squashed and put out of business and probably never open again during COVID when the first shutdown happened, because you guys are a brick and mortar business. And you're one of the first guys I text when everything got shut down, and I obviously was worried about you because we can work remote. Obviously, if people can't come in your store, you shouldn't be able to sell product. So how on earth were you able to survive? You use the tool that everybody watching has access to. You turn to Facebook Live. So I'm going to let you tell that story. Where did this come from, and where is it at today? Because it's pretty remarkable what you guys are doing.
It's crazy. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have been, especially with our product. It's a little bit higher end. So you really need to touch it, feel it, to really get the whole gist of it. So when we were shut down, I mean, unfortunately, hundreds of jewelry stores in America have shut down for good through all this. So we had to do something. We had to keep the cash going. We had to do something. And the other side of it was, what do we do for our clients that cheers them up during all this? Because it was miserable for everybody. So we started this Facebook Live sale, and it just morphed into a beast of a thing. I mean, it was wild. We started doing it. My wife and I pledged that we would do it every night while we were shut down, which turned into way longer than I wanted to do it. It was 50-something days straight that we did this show. But basically, it was just Facebook Live, and we were selling things at massive discounts, moving inventory, making people happy. And it really just started out of that, but I've learned so much from it as far as marketing and how to do this, that it's evolved into a great, great thing for us.
I think before this, you would get on camera, but you weren't ever like super comfortable with it. We used to do some videos for Tom, and we work with a lot of local clients. Tom was one of them. So we would do these videos, and I don't want to say you were reluctant to get on camera, but it wasn't your favorite thing to do. So then seeing you get on Facebook Live with Kim, your wife, and you guys would do it from your home. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of, your Facebook page didn't have a massive local following, but then very quickly it started to grow and grow and grow. And I remember specifically one night I was at my wife's family's home, so my in-laws' home, and I was watching on my cell phone. My wife was watching on her cell phone on the other side of the couch. My sister-in-law, who's 17, was watching on her cell phone. My mom and dad were watching on their computer at their home. And I think you had like 4,000 people watching. And you said, we'll go until somebody doesn't buy. And you said, hey, here's this item. It's on the clock for 1 minute. And I think you guys went for like, do you remember the night I'm talking about?
It was my birthday, actually.
That's what it was. Yeah. And you went for hours.
I think it ended at 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Yeah. To the point to where people were, Bud, your partner and one of your coworkers, was selling shit off of his wrist. Or you guys were selling your Kim's earrings, and people were literally like, I bought my mom a Mother's Day gift that night because my mom was in it. She's like, ooh, I like that. And you said, hey, you know what? That looks like a great Mother's Day gift. Hint, hint, Luke. And then I had people just going after me because they didn't want the sale to end. They didn't want that live to end because you guys make it fun. So people were buying because they didn't want that fun broadcast to end. And then from then it's continued to go. You've gotten your employees involved. So obviously, I've seen you guys sell stuff as much as 60%. And people, they're getting a deal, but you guys aren't just losing money on all of this stuff, or it would have put you out of business quicker. You are on some things you're not. What's the thought process behind why are we selling this stuff at a discount in the long term?
I mean, for us, like I said, we got lucky, fortunately, at the beginning because we were over inventoried. So we needed to move inventory anyway. And in this great state of West Virginia, we still pay that inventory tax. So I needed to get rid of some stuff. But in the long run, I mean, even if we're selling things at cost, we're generating so much interest, and we've had so many people come in the store and just want to meet us, and it's crazy. My wife had somebody come up to her at Lowe's to introduce themselves because they saw her on the show. Yeah. So, and then we went and we, not to take advantage of such a bad situation, but a lot of jewelry stores were closing down. So we had the opportunity to buy merchandise just for the show at closeout pricing. So we can offer a massive discount and still make a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And so it's worked out really well. It's taught me a whole lot about. You're right. I wasn't comfortable on camera at all before.
Yeah.
But after 50 days in a row, you kind of don't have a choice.
Well, and I think that's what I want to talk about next is you weren't super comfortable. I don't know about, I've known Kim for years. I don't know if she's naturally just comfortable on camera, but you both just kind of took the bull by the horns. For somebody that's watching this and that's their kind of BS excuse, because I get it a lot. Luke, I'm just not comfortable on camera. If somebody that maybe it's a motorcycle dealership that's in a state that, I think PA is shutting back down as of the time of filming this close to Christmas. If you're in a state that like you don't have any option, you're a door swing type of a business and you can't swing the door, you got to put that excuse aside. Like what did you do to just get over that discomfort, or was it just, I didn't have a choice?
Yeah, you don't have a choice at that point. And honestly, once you do it a couple times, it's not that difficult. Kim wanted to kill me at first. Like, we're doing what? But just do it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you're real about it and not trying to script it or fake it or and it's better for the client side as well. I think, if you can get into their living room and be one of them, like you mentioned drinking wine on the show, like for the first bit, everybody
do a lot of that.
Yeah, everybody was stuck at home. Everybody was doing a lot of that. So, it kind of just made sense that we started doing a wine pick every night and sharing with everybody a wine pick, and people loved it. People were going to the grocery store and getting whatever wine we had the night before, trying it.
Yeah. It sounds so simple what you guys did, but people literally were tuning in to watch because it was entertaining. And now you've always had awesome staff members, but you've got some of your staff now that's even stepping up. You have a young lady named Hannah, Kayla. There's other faces now to where you're still doing this, and a lot of times you do it in the store and you step away to kind of do your thing and run the business. And you've got some staff members coming, and how are you keeping it organized to where they know what's off limits? Like, hey, no, that $50,000 Carl Bucher watch, like, let's not put that up for 50% off. Like, how do you get them involved to where you trust they're going to pick the right product?
I still pick all the product.
Okay.
We still pick all the product. We use analytics and, what's aging and things like that. And then we throw in some specials. And like I said, we've had the opportunity to buy up some estates and things like that we could pass on at great deals. So we pick that product. That's kind of the mix we use. But, once you give it to them, I kind of just let them run with it, because you want them to be themselves. You want them to be who they are. They're all entertaining. Yeah, right. Fortunately. Sometimes a little too entertaining maybe. But, they've all done a great job and stepped up. It's been really cool.
I think a good example, if you're a dealership and you still got a 2019 helmet sitting around that just didn't sell, or I know in the moto and cycling space, supply and demand and getting inventory in is hard. So maybe you don't have access to that 2021, fly gear, but you've got some 2019 that the colorway just didn't sell very well. Well, maybe that you can move that because it's better than it just sitting there. So going around and picking some inventory that
your age stuff,
space.
It's money just sitting there. Yeah. You're better off if you can turn it into 2021 stuff and move it twice. Even if you lose a few bucks, that's retail 101 right there. You
guys always kind of led with the sale, like that's what initially got people interested before they knew it was going to be entertaining. It was, you've sold stuff as much as 60% off, 70% off. What's the normal, like 50? You do it at a pretty big discount.
Yeah, it was 50 to 60 for the main run of it. We've kind of tweaked it now with the holidays. We're busy as could be anyway. Now we're doing like a vendor spotlight every night. So, for us, like tonight, we're doing Roberto Coin, one of our famous designers. For you guys, it could be whoever, Fox or whatever. Yeah. And do one spotlight and talk about them and educate them about the vendor and why they're good and why, what their benefits are. Yeah. And then we'll sell that at 20 to 30% off. Yeah. A little bit more of a discount than we would give if you walked in the store and asked for it.
Yeah. I think a way that, and I keep referring to dealerships because I know door swings are imperative there, but maybe you're an online business that you could utilize this even just being an online business. One of the things you can do, Tom, you have guests and a lot of times it's your spouse or people you work with, but if you guys have a rep at Fly or WPS, you could zoom that rep in and do try to offload some older fly gear and have that rep talk about, the different things that went into making that product and what to expect maybe for next year's product, things like that, so that it's not always just you. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to Tom about, obviously, you guys have opened up and you had one of the biggest months you guys have had after opening up. You're still doing the sale, but what you guys have done in the off season, or when we were locked down, how it helped drive in-store traffic during this past month. We're going to talk about that with Tom when we come back. Hey, I want to tell you about our friends at Flex Racing. Flex Racing is a one-stop shop for all custom designs and products that you need to look good at the racetrack. Flex creates some of the most stunning and custom race day materials available today, designing and manufacturing products that help you represent your team and your sponsors. Products like custom pop-up tents, table covers, chairs, umbrellas, bike graphics, bike mats, even gear bags. And I'm telling you, the gear bags, they're sick. We're going to get some made for Impact and our EMTB team. They're awesome. If you need your name or your logo on it, chances are these guys can take care of it for you. Flex also provides rider and team logos, truck and trailer wrap designs, custom t-shirts, and even jackets. Not only are the designs killer, but my favorite thing, the prices, right? They care about giving you the best possible price because Flex is entirely made up of riders and racers. They understand how expensive it is to look good and to be professional, so they've tailored the prices on all the products to be as affordable as possible to help privateers, big teams, small teams, everybody in between save the money that you guys need for things like travel, race fees, food, etc. They simply get it, right? Flex Racing's motto is secure the vision. They know that greatness exists in all of us, and they're here to help us bridge the gap between our vision and our reality. So maybe it's time to replace your pop-up from last season, or you need some fresh new gear, or maybe even need to replace those graphics on your bike to display your team logo. Give my friends at Flex Racing a shot. You can check them out at flexracing.com. Let them know that Impact sent you. Let them know that you listen to the Moto Marketing Podcast, and you can save 15%. Hey, big shout out to our friends at FMF. Little D and the guys are always doing some pretty exciting things, not just with the performance products, but man, they've got the coolest apparel in the game, and I want to give you guys an opportunity to get that at a little bit of a discount. If you go to FMF and pick up any gear you'd like, hats, shirts, whatever it is, upon checkout, if you enter the code MMP30, MMP30, you can get 30% off. So MMP30 at checkout and get 30% off your order on FMF Apparel. All right, so we got Tom Licciardi with Jacqueline's Fine Jewelry with us today, talking about his kind of just no choice but to take action Facebook Live show that you guys created. And, yes, obviously you didn't want to discount stuff forever and you knew things were going to open back up. And we're in this weird place now to where, like, some states are closing again. We're still open. As a whole, like, we can kind of get out and do what we would normally do. It's just capacity is a little bit smaller, things like that. So since you guys opened your doors, what have you seen from all the shows and the audience that you built from this free Facebook Live show that you did when you guys were shut down?
I mean, honestly, we've been busier than we've ever been, which is amazing given the political situation, the economic climate. I mean, we're setting records every month. In store. Yeah, it's crazy. So I truly believe it's a direct result of this show. We've been introduced to so many new people, and now they're coming in when they have a birthday, they have an anniversary, they have any need for a gift. Some of them are just stopping in to have a drink. Yeah. I mean, but as long as they're coming in, they're going to be
because they know you guys drink. Yeah. I mean, it is. You're accomplishing what you would want to accomplish from, on a local business. You still do a lot of traditional TV, radio, newspaper. You've done a lot of digital. And I mean, look, you've used us in the past. I would say the most successful thing I've ever seen your business do marketing-wise is this free Facebook Live show. Would you agree with that?
100%. We've never done anything better.
Yeah. It's free. Didn't cost you anything. Now, I have seen you use some software now to where you're putting, the image up on the screen, stuff like that. So that might cost a little bit of money. And
also free.
It's free.
Yeah.
And you're doing this on what? Your phone, your computer?
Do it on my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had to do it on the phone a few times when the internet service was down or something. But yeah, just from the laptop. It's free software. I mean, the only cost we had to it was whatever money we lost on some of that blowout merchandise, but still we're generating cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I encourage everybody that's watching this to go and just, I mean, how many shows, do you have any idea how many shows you've done now?
Probably at least 100.
That's amazing. From the guy that was hard to get you on camera before, and now you and your wife and your employees, you're banging out, 100 plus shows.
One a week now. It was I think it was 54 or 58 in a row, and now it's one a week.
And then
maybe
was it
not
Cyber
100, maybe
Monday?
75.
Was it
Cyber Monday
or Black
went 12 and a half hours long.
Yeah. You were supposed to end, I think, at 8, right? And Hannah was still going at like 10 o'clock.
At 7, and it went till 10:30. Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is you should go and watch, even if you're not into jewelry, and that's completely fine, but go and watch Tom's just Tom on there. You don't act any different. You don't try to act super professional if he wants to. I mean, I have literally watched him and his wife get, I don't want to say drunk, but definitely tipsy.
Yeah.
And it's fun. People know him and they relate to him, and they feel like, and like you said, they're going out and having a drink. So you don't have to be scared from the standpoint of, ooh, I've got to be super professional. If you're super professional, be professional. But if you're laid back and and you crack crass jokes, be you. Watch what Tom and his team have done, and get some inspiration from that, because it's not in the moto space. Yes, they have different margins on their product than we do in this space, but it's the same concept. You had to get your customers' attention. You had to get product moving. And you did, and then when the doors were able to open back up, like you said, it's been really good.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's just so much exposure, and it's free. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like if there were any advice for me, is just be yourself. Most of the people that are watching this show are in their pajamas, sitting on their couch.
Yeah.
They don't want somebody, professional salesperson, shoving stuff in their face. They're just hanging out.
Yeah.
So just be you, and like you said, we used to drink a lot of wine on the show. That had to stop when my wife became pregnant. But I still have a glass here and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just be you. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it there.
Do you guys have plans to, I mean, you haven't stopped. You're doing it once a week rather than every night. Do you guys plan on this? Is this a permanent fixture in your marketing plan now?
It's a permanent fixture. We've actually even rebranded it from just Jacqueline's to Jacqueline's Fine Jewelry, so JFJ Live. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a permanent fixture as far as I can see. So.
Dude, it's all guys, it's incredible. Watch it. Look, if you're into jewelry, I mean, there are some moto guys. I was listening to a podcast last week to where one of the popular Australian athletes, Hunter Lawrence, not Jet, Hunter Lawrence is a big watch enthusiast. So if anybody is into high-end jewelry, watches, anything like that, what are some of the brands that you guys carry, and can I get them online?
So the other thing we've learned with this is to get our website shoppable online, which it went live a week ago, I think, with a lot of our brands. As far as watches go, Carl Bucher, Tag Heuer, Tissot, Citizen, G-Shock, we've got all those shoppable online. And then our jewelry brands, our own brand, which is all custom made, Diamond Jewelry is available. A lot of our bridal jewelry is available. Gabriel Fauna, Roberto Coin is a phenomenal designer. Luvente, we've got a bunch.
Yeah. You guys still do Breitling, right?
We don't.
No.
We cut our ties with Breitling, but we've jumped headfirst into the pre-owned watch space. Okay. So I have a lot of pre-owned
That's
stuff.
why there's I walked in the other day, I was like, man, you got a lot of watches in here right now.
I've probably got the biggest pre-owned collection in 100 miles. It's ridiculous.
And I can get any of that online as well?
We're moving in that direction.
Cool.
It's a lot of work because they changed hands so often, but we trade a lot of Rolex, we trade a lot of Breitling, we trade a lot of Hublot.
So if somebody's looking to maybe build a relationship with someone like you, they can always just reach out personally, and you can message photos back and forth, things like that.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, and you probably even maybe we can work at a little bit better price for you.
Cool.
Just email me, shoot me a text, whatever. Yeah. You can message us right from the website. It comes right to my phone. Check
out the show. It's incredible what they've done. They've got an incredible staff, incredible products. So if you're into that type of thing, definitely check them out. Tom, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you
joining us, man. It's always good to have you in. Hopefully we'll get you out to the race if we ever have them here again.
Yeah, hopefully we can get those going again. It's been years since I've been to one, but my brothers both raced. I rode a lot as a kid, so I would love to get back out there.
Yeah, we'll get Davey. Hopefully High Point comes back in 2021. We missed it this year because of everything. So you guys might see Tom out at the races, and be sure to say hi.
Yeah, man. My 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old's getting a dirt bike for Christmas. So my wife doesn't know that yet, so I hope she doesn't watch this. But
That's a good dad. Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can submit in the questions at motomarketingpodcast.com. You can hit me up on Instagram. Jacqueline's social account, it's Jacqueline's Fine Jewelry?
Jacqueline's Fine Jewelry. Jacqueline's WV on pretty much everything.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Moto Marketing Podcast. If your goal is to get real, measurable results from your marketing that will grow your company revenue, then check out how Impact Media can get the same results that they have for Moto's most iconic brands by visiting thinkimpact.com. That's THINKIMPAKT.com. Have a marketing question that you want answered on the show? Send your questions to questions@motomarketingpodcast.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Moto Marketing Podcast.